Hello and welcome to Videodrone. It's a weekly podcast about TV shows, movies, popular culture, things that are going on in our lives. This week, we continue with our Last of Us recap. We're on episode 5 of season 2. My name's Ben Vanel. I'm joined all the way down there in jolly old Melbourne by Tommy Dasilo.
Hello, welcome Ben, son. Thank you for having me. And today we have our special guest once again. It's Greg Larsen.
Hello, welcome to me. Thanks for having me.
Welcome to me. Is that was the first line of my dating profile, and it went very well.
Welcome to me. Yeah, photo of you with a giant tiger.
Yes.
And then welcome to me.
Mm-hmm.
Pineapple on pizza is a no-go for me.
The Office.
You had all the classics on there.
The Office, #1 favorite show. No, welcome to us. Welcome to us. We're here. We're back again for episode 5 of season 2 of The Last of Us. I watched it last night. Does that change anything?
Special shout out to Ben for taking down the show and recording this all the way from his holiday in Japan. This man loves to pod. You cannot stop him, even if he's in another country. Yeah.
You going to that Monkey Springs, the monkey bars?
Absolutely, we are. We're actually near Mount Fuji at the moment. I can look out the window and see it, which is absolutely just fucking glorious. But
are you on laptops?
Yeah, full laptop mode.
Show us Mount Fuji then.
I would love if Ben was doing this from a full desktop computer in the Airbnb he was staying in.
Hold on a sec.
Pick up the laptop and fucking show us Mount Fuji. We can't not see Mount Fuji.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's all bright. It's
blowing
out.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
not seeing it.
I can kind of see it. Yeah, that's awesome.
I can kind of see Mount Fuji.
Why does that say Tullamarine Airport? What?
Why does that say Shit Eaters Festival?
The Shit Eaters Festival at the Tullamarine Airport, out in the car park.
That's so weird. That is not Mount Fuji at all. That is all these people in the car park eating shit.
They think it's like international waters, but it's, guys, the car park of the airport is an international airspace. It's like you're still bound by the laws of the city that you're in.
And the cops are there going, it's actually not illegal to eat shit. It's fucked.
It's a crime of morality.
Just don't do it.
Oh, man. That was beautiful. That's a reason enough to tune into the video.
See a really pixelated version of Mount Fuji that you wouldn't know is Mount Fuji unless someone told you that's Mount Fuji.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben, is there much traction for The Last of Us season 2 over there? Are people talking about it in the streets?
Absolutely. Yes. This small mountain town that we're staying in is a buzz with Last of Us fever.
Yep.
So yeah, that's all I've been doing. I've learned how to say The Last of Us in Japanese, and I will not be tested on it currently because that would just be rude.
Well, you knew the show would be airing while you were there, so you were on Duolingo just learning the phrase, this show has gone woke and it's bad now.
That's right.
So you could connect the Shibuya Scramble.
Yeah, the concept of wokeness hasn't hit the island of Hokkaido. I don't think... No, took that down last night with another glorious episode of The Rehearsal as a little chaser.
Oh yeah.
We talk about, us three talk about in a couple of weeks on a bonus episode. Absolutely fucking loving this show. But took down The Last of Us last night. Shall we fucking dive right into this little
Let's
bastard.
dive right in. Yeah.
Like a man eating shit in a Tullamarine car park. Let's tuck in.
Let's do something really enjoyable. I agree.
As they say every year on May 13 in the Tullamarine car park, bottoms up, boys. May 13. Please remind us next year, folks.
Yeah.
We'll make a little pilgrimage out there. We could do a live pod. We could set up our live podcast from the Tullamarine Shit Eaters Festival.
Tullamarine Shit Eaters Festival. All the stars are out. All the red carpet has been laid. Everyone's here.
We got a great special guest for you. Boy, I love eating shit. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So we open. We're still in that cinema or the theater where Dina and Ellie have been hiding out, and they're plotting out. Oh no! Wait, hang on.
No,
we got a little cold open thing, didn't we?
Yeah.
Little
Yeah.
chili open.
Yeah.
And I can't even remember what it is. What was it? It was definitely wolves.
It was.
Oh yeah.
It was.
Yes.
Yes.
It was hospital.
It was hospital time.
Yeah.
There was a woman who was kind of getting, it seems like sort of dressed down initially, or just interviewed. Like, hey, why'd you do that? Why'd you do that thing? You've killed 4 of our people, or something like that, basically. And you're like, what's going on here? And it turns out that, a squad went down to the basement because they have assumed, there's going to be a bunch of infected down there, got to clear them out. And the squad goes down to basement 1, and I think they were like, yeah, everything's fine, but there's not even like rats around. It's weirdly empty. And so they go down to basement 2, and they don't hear anything for a while. And then, coming through on the radio, this guy Leon, who's in charge of the squad, is like, yeah, it's this stuff's in the air, and like she's saying, like he was choking, he couldn't breathe. He's saying the stuff is in the air, seal us in, and that's what she does. And the other woman is like, yeah, that's fucked. We can't tell anyone about this because like this is we need the hospital. We can't just abandon it. Like, this is too valuable to just seal up the whole thing.
Yeah, like. Well, this is just like in the game, like it's kind of this hasn't really happened yet in the real world, but this is just like kind of how it functions in the game.
Right.
This is
crazy. It's a weird choice for them to keep referencing the game.
Yeah. Given the game's
just like in the game.
like you could spoil the storyline if you keep referencing the game, but
yeah, it's also if they had have done it from Ep 1 Season 1, it would make sense. But to sort of not do it until this far into the show,
episode
it is
5 of season 2. It's a bit of a hard left turn,
Yeah, it's a bit immersion breaking, honestly.
I don't know. I appreciate that kind of challenging television. So that's just me. That's just me. That's just my taste.
I like when characters say, it says here on the script that I'm meant to tell you to go fuck yourself, but I just want you to know that in real life as an actor, I admire and respect you, and I've got a great deal of love for you. I would never personally say that. However, the character that I'm playing is meant to say this to you.
Yeah. I don't know. We won't keep referencing it, but it does happen all throughout the episode. Just for people who
We're going to be here all day.
haven't watched it yet.
Bold choice.
Yeah. But yes, we find out that Leon was the son of the woman who's sort of reporting back on all of this stuff happening, which is very, very sad, very tragic opening to the episode. That's it. Bang. Cut to black. Very sad. Sorry about your son.
Which was also a bit, like, that was a little weird to me. I don't like it when movies do this or shows do this. It's the same in that movie about Sully. Remember that Sully movie?
Yes.
And we talked about Sully.
What made you think about that recently?
Like where they're like, you have crashed this plane because you're shit at flying the plane. And then he was like, actually, I didn't. And they go, you're right. You're actually a hero, Sully.
Yeah.
It was like in reality, she's like, yeah, you're a piece of shit. Like at the start of the scene, she's like, you killed these people.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Knowing that one of them was her son, I reckon there'd be some kind of, you might be going, oh, like if it's your son, something must have happened. Like you wouldn't want, you haven't done something really.
Right.
I'm not going to jump to the conclusion.
It was a bit of a weird turn.
Yeah. There have been a few of these sort of, I guess, like, what are they? They're just like screenwriting tricks to kind of be like, all right, you're going to set the audience's expectation that this has happened, and then 5 minutes later or less, oh, we're going to reveal through, and I guess it's a way to do exposition, right? With it seeming somewhat less clunky, to be like, okay, character who's in the show, explain to me, character who's also in the show, what happened. But
Right,
yeah,
right.
you're right, Greg. I think it's a little bit like, it's kind of treats.
She could have just said what happened.
Yeah.
She
Especially-
goes in like talking about like
Yeah.
being shot for whatever.
Yeah.
Especially when they've had some like great examples in the show of kind of doing that quite. Like I loved all the stuff in season 1 that was like the going back to it, kicking off,
Right.
and all that kind of stuff. And even last week's cold open was like so well done and such a cool scene. And then this just did feel like, just sort of exposition-y back and forth. Like,
Well, I still I liked it if they just didn't. If it wasn't so mad at the start.
yeah,
And then going, you're a hero at the end of the scene. It's
right,
like,
right.
She knew that was her son the whole time.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You obviously know something must be up. Sure.
Yep.
Yep.
But yeah, and then we go. Then we're in the theater,
Yes.
and we got Ellie and Dina.
Yeah, doing a bit of mapping out of the area, trying to figure out. There's like, what are they saying? There's like one building that they haven't been in, that the wolves haven't gone to yet.
Yes.
Yeah,
And they're
yeah.
thinking, why
Let's
is
get
that?
through that building.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
And then Ellie's like, why would there not be any wolves in this building? This building bad. And Dina's like, I mean, yeah, but like, what else are we gonna do?
Yeah. There's a lot of
there's
bad
gonna
stuff
be-
around.
There's gonna be zombies.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
And yeah, they're having a bit of a laugh around. What is it? Dina using the term topographical or something, and Ellie's kind of roasting her, or the other way around. They're having a bit of banter.
They're
a little bit of
bantering.
bants.
Bit of post,
A little bit of
bantering. I would never.
Yeah, is this still technically pillow talk?
Yeah.
What do they call it at Tullamarine? Like after the is it pillow talk? It's like more like
It's like slop.
because it's not even sexual. The shitting
No.
festival.
I guess it's you
Slop
call it
talk.
bowl. You call it
slop.
bowl chat maybe, or bowl. I think we call it bowl banter.
Yeah.
I haven't. Yeah, it's been a little while since
Fuck.
I went over the terminology, but
I've
it's
looked
bowl
out
banter.
the window.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder how many people are like, I actually can't listen to this.
Yeah, it's triggering like an actual
I can't.
gag
Yeah,
reflex.
something that I feel like we ask every episode. The Skellingtons is one thing, but this is just actually making me feel sick.
People enjoy the Skellingtons, or at least they are referencing them in comments on the episodes.
That's
So,
true.
you know.
That's true.
Yeah.
They've got their fans. Yeah.
They've got their fans. That's right. But yes, they've mapped the area. Dina's done all the smart stuff. Ellie's like, I did some book learning, and then he's like, no, I don't have any idea what's going on here. They've done some triangulation. That's right. That's what it is, Tommy. And Ellie's like, yeah, it involves
Triangulation,
triangles. And anyway, they're like, yeah, let's go to this fucked building. And is it before they leave or while they're sort of walking down the road? Oh, it's when they see the pile of dead people, the pile of dead Seraphites. That it's sort of like, does Dina bring it up or Ellie bring it up? Like, oh, I think Dina brings it up, right?
Well, Dina goes to spew.
Yeah,
She brings up her lunch.
Yeah,
Or a breakfast.
And
Coming
coming out the
Ellie's
wrong end
like,
for
I
me,
can't.
IMO.
Yeah.
That's next month.
Yeah.
What is it? And like Ellie's like, I shouldn't have taken you. Like, you should be back there.
Yeah.
And there's
That's
like,
right. Yeah.
Dina sort of has that story about like how her mum was killed and everything, and she's like, "Look, I would do anything for revenge, and if you like," and she literally says like, "If you want me to go back, I'll go back. Whatever you want." Like,
Yeah.
and Ellie's like, "Nah, come with me."
Yeah, let's
Yep.
go. Let's go.
So they got to get it done. I mean, you're preggers, but you're also in a fucking post-apocalypse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how the cookie crumbles. That's how the shit is eaten at the Tullamarine.
That's right. It's simply a fact of life.
Yeah.
The shake of your head as you were just like, I knew as I was forming the sentence where I was going to go, and I'm like, I'm better than this. I know deep down I'm better than this.
The thing is, I don't.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. It's more a shake of like, I'm not better than this.
And not only that, I'm not even ashamed. I'm proud. I think it's funny what I've said.
So yeah, and they keep going. They is it pretty much like wait for nightfall now, and then
Yep.
They break into the little building.
And we get this great shot just kind of before that where they're chatting out in the street. I love this, the framing of like them outside next to the big kind of mural of what's the phrase? She sees everything, or the like painted thing of the Seraphites.
It's like
something
feel
like
her
feel her love.
Feel her love. Yeah, she sees everything. It's close enough.
Yeah. And then someone else has written like feel this bitch or something underneath.
I thought,
and they've done a massacre.
I thought that feel this bitch was really lame, and I'm putting it on the character, not the show. Like whoever in the show wrote that, what a fucking loser. Feel this bitch.
Yeah, I hope we get one of those like pivot episodes, like with Nick Offerman in season 1, where we just see the whole an hour of this guy building up to writing "Feel this bitch" on the side of a wall,
and like it'd just be, and it would be a guy that would be going like, "Man, I wish the apocalypse didn't happen so I could rev this engine of my car."
100%.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'd love to just drive around in circles in like my neighborhood, just revving my engine.
Yeah.
I wish we could do that.
Yeah, what is the equivalent in a world where social media never existed? What is the like apocalypse wasteland equivalent of a car as the profile picture?
Oh. Probably putting like a skull and crossbones on your like bulletproof vest or something, right? Like,
it'd be that. It'd be something like that. Yeah.
Or writing "Feel this bitch."
Writing "Feel this
that's
bitch" on a wall.
Writing "Feel this bitch" on graffiti. That is
fucking check this out. Fucking check this out. It's so fucking clever.
And thinking like, fucking after the apocalypse, you would have thought like women would have lightened up a little bit. You can't fucking say anything anymore.
Right.
It's like I can't even get a date
feel her love
post-apocalypse.
Yeah, feel the love mural for him is the equivalent of like Clementine Ford's Facebook page, where he's just gone and he's like, "Feel this bitch, got her, I've owned her."
Yeah. But yeah,
and they see some wolves with spotlights and shit, and they manage to sneak around and get into this building. And they get into the building and they say no guns. We can't use any guns. Like if we have to use guns, we got to run because like the wolves will be on us.
Yep.
And they have what I think is actually quite sound logic. They're like, there's gonna be infected in here, but surely there's not a horde, because if there was, like the wolves wouldn't be this close to it, and they would have all also just come out. There's obviously they're avoiding this building because there's infected, but it can't be that bad.
Yeah.
So they're like, let's have a little squizzy.
Yep.
And they get in, and it's fucking bad.
Yeah.
I liked this.
Yeah.
I liked how this was revealed because they see the one stalker, we're calling them, hiding up in the corner. They're like, "Fuck, that is creepy." And Ellie's like, "Yep. I've seen one of those before. I think they're smarter than the others. So you know, it's okay. We'll flank them. We'll sort of, you know, use that bit of intelligence against them, and then bang, there's like 100." And I thought it was really fucking creepy. Well executed. Just the reveal of all of these more popping up. all around them.
That was scary as shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I was watching that with my partner, and she kept going, "Oh, yeah." Like it was creepy as hell.
Yep.
They're just like mucking around in the distance, and it wasn't like really, it wasn't like overplayed with like, that horror music stab that movies like that. It was just like, it was real yuck.
Yeah.
It was real creepy.
Yeah.
I actually wasn't scared at all.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. I found it funny,
You
actually.
What was funny about it?
I was laughing. I was like, oh, yeah, this is twisted, dude.
Okay.
I wasn't scared at all.
Okay.
You were still laughing when you saw "Feel This Bitch." And you were like,
Yeah.
fuck, that's the cleverest cunt.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wish I could shake that cunt's hand, man.
Yeah,
Got
I only
her.
stopped laughing like a minute before you guys got on the call.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Didn't sleep at all. Just chortling away to myself.
Feel this bitch.
Feel this bitch.
Oh.
Feel this bitch. Douche.
Imagine if she saw that.
Douche.
I'm Pickle Rick.
Yeah, you were still laughing at that one from about 3.5 years ago.
I've been laughing at it ever since I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
then they're in trouble.
They're in deep doo-doo.
Deep shit. Dina runs for a cage. Ellie tries to fight him off, and they are shooting away.
Yeah.
And these stalkers are fucked.
They drop the plan immediately. I guess they're just fucked, right? Like, they just, there's no, yeah. Because they could have just used their knives and run away, in my opinion. But no, they're fucked. They're going to die. They're ripping the fucking chicken wire off the cage. They're, they're done for. They're completely done for. And until, what's this? Someone else shooting?
Jesse.
It's bloody Jesse.
Yeah.
Which,
big man on campus.
He's the big boy.
Jesse comes in, and the first thing he says is, "Guys, did you fucking see that shit graffiti outside? Holy shit, I gotta show you."
We'll go back that way if you haven't seen it yet. You've got to check it out.
I can't remember exactly how they worded it. It was something like "fuck you, bitch," or like. It was so funny.
I should have said it when I shot that.
So funny.
I shot that zombie off you. I should have gone, suck on that, bitch, or whatever it was, but fuck. He's so cool. He's our new favorite character. But no,
what a legend.
he comes in, saves the day. Watching this, with my partner as well, Greg. I don't know what Alison thought of this, but just be like, Jess, like full, like, yay, Jesse's here. We love Jesse in this house. He's like, we got to.
We love Jesse at Mount Fuji.
He's a great guy. He's a wonderful guy. He's such a good guy. He
could make it to the summit. He could make it to the summit in one day.
And when I beat Crooked Hillary, I said, "Fear this bitch." I said, "Fear this bitch." Lock her up. Fear this bitch. So,
are there any other Last of Us podcasts that you think have made that line as much of a takeaway as we
I don't
have?
think so.
It's kind of. I don't think it's even gotten a mention in any other.
This is the FTB.
Yeah.
Welcome back to FTB.
The premier FTB podcast on the internet.
Welcome back, bitcherinos, bitcheroonies.
I mean, it could have just
FTB boys, the crew back on the scene.
You could have just done fuckerinos.
Yeah. Lock her up. But yeah, he's saved the day, and he's he makes his feelings known very quickly about how shitted off he is.
Yeah.
At this little whatever you call this.
Yeah. And then they run away, and immediately there's wolves, shooting at them, right? Like, it's just like, okay, everything's blown, everything's fucked. And they head off through the city, through the ruins. They're running away. They're getting chased. It's all happening, and then they get to a little green patch, which I love. In a city design, you need green spaces, and then
Absolutely.
it turns out to really pay off here, because they run in and then the wolves are like, we don't go into to the park. We don't go in the park.
Yeah.
Because they're like, we like the urban environment. We don't want to be, we don't want to relax now, because the park is a place to relax.
Well, we're all children of property developers, so we don't we're anti the park. That should be, they should pave that park, put up a car park instead.
Parking lot. The paved paradise, put up a parking
Oh, that's quite
lot where
beautiful,
everyone
Greg.
eats shit at the Tullamarine airport.
Yeah.
That's what she was singing about in that song. It was like, because that's why she hates parking lots, is because people are
That's long-term
eating
parking.
shit at them.
Yeah.
Well, she's the keynote speaker every year, and that's why.
And so they go in and they see a few scars.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this
And,
is scary stuff.
And we've seen the scars be massacred by the wolves. We've seen the wolves be pretty cruel to them.
Yep.
But now we're seeing what the scars are like to the wolves, and suddenly it's good that they killed all those children.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't have a hot frying pan, but still pretty brutal.
They string him up. They string up a guy by his neck, and then they slit open his belly, like William Wallace in the movie Braveheart.
Yeah. Do you think
and in real life?
Yeah, that is true.
Both of those things did exist in this world. I mean, Braveheart has come out long before things kicked off. So I wonder if there's probably someone there going like, "This is so sick. This is just like in Braveheart."
I'm going to paint my face white and blue.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, do you die immediately from disembowelment?
No.
Yeah, fuck.
You die quicker from the neck because he's been hung at the same time.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
That'll be a quicker
Yeah.
one. But yeah, it would. I'll say it. Would not like to be disemboweled.
Yeah, I'd hate it.
Do
I'd
not want
really hate it.
I think it would be
Do
funny.
not want- yeah, I'd be like, fuck.
I think it'd be funny, honestly. I'd just be like,
You'd hope in
yeah.
you'd hope in your final moments you'd have that one of your last flashes of brain activity would be like, I bet this looks pretty funny to everyone else.
Yeah. All my guts just slopping on the
It's like
ground.
when you see someone trip over, it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you see someone get disemboweled, and you're like, hey, it's funny when it's not
Yeah.
me.
Yeah,
When
when
it's
you've
not me.
Yeah.
Like-
when you've hurt yourself and everyone's laughing and you're kind of in pain and kind of annoyed, and part of that annoyance is, fuck, it would be so good to be not me right now.
Yeah.
I'd get so much enjoyment out of this.
But yeah, so
Anyway, that's what that guy's thinking while he's being strung up and disemboweled.
Yeah.
And they're watching this thinking, holy shit.
yeah, and then how do they get revealed? I forget how they get revealed.
Uh,
I think it's just one of them sees.
yeah,
him.
I think so.
Like it's just like
Yeah.
it's literally just like one of them sees him randomly and then shoots Dina with an arrow.
Yeah.
And Ellie's like, "You guys run. I'll like." Because Dina's now crippled, so she's like, "I'll draw him over," and she fires her gun a few times and draws their attention away.
Yep.
And they go back to the thing, and she goes, "I'll meet you there."
Yep.
And she manages to hide while they all spread out and try and find her, but they can't find her because Ellie's like a little grub. She gets in the scrub.
Yep.
She's a grub in the scrub.
Gets in the bush. Grub in the scrub.
Classic.
There's a grub scrub scene.
Yeah. This was probably one of my top 5 grub scrub scenes in television. I don't know about you guys, but the way that she scrubbled her grub self into that little hollow, and I think she put her bag on her head, which is honestly the kind of grub scrub move you don't see that often.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's expert grub scrubbing.
It was like, I would rate it up there with the famous Lord of the Rings grub scrub when all the grubs came out.
Oh yes.
When they hide under the tree.
Yeah.
root.
And the
yeah.
the guys, the Black Riders are there sniffing them out. But good grub scrub work from Ellie. And off she goes. That's it, right?
Off she goes, but that's pretty much it. Like she gets away and she sees because and also we've glossed over one thing when they're walking through the park at first. She's like, "All right, what's the plan?" And Jesse's like, "The plan is we're going back to
we're going to Jackson."
Oh yeah, because he
Jackson.
mentions Kim and Tommy have come, right? So Tommy's out here somewhere.
That's right.
He's like, "We're getting the fuck out of here," which Ellie's pissed off about, and Dina gives a look like he's probably right. Like what are we going to do?
I'm preggers. We need to get back and dissect this very fun and not weird at all kind of thruple scenario that we've got going on here.
Yeah.
And Jesse's really keen to just sort of go, "Hey, like, what if?" like, just, I don't know. I'm just spitballing ideas here, but like,
Have you heard of Tullamarine?
Some things would be considered grotesque by society at large, but then there are pockets of the world sometimes where people are just allowed to let their freak flag fly, you know?
Cupid's down for that.
Yeah, my dog loves it.
yeah,
A real connoisseur of eating shit.
yeah,
That
that's
does
true.
make perfect sense. Yeah.
He does love it.
Yeah. But yes.
And then Ellie.
So yeah, Jesse has said like, well, I went one way, Tommy went the other way. So Tommy's out there. He's doing a bit of recon himself, and I can't remember, like I think Jesse's like, oh, we were gonna meet up somewhere, like we had sort of a plan, but they're gonna meet up with Tommy. They're gonna go back, but Ellie, instead is like, nah, fuck that. Does she see? Is there like a sign for the hospital on the gate or something? Yeah.
She sees something. I can't remember exactly, but it's like she sees, oh, wow, like I'm actually kind of near the hospital.
Yeah.
And so fucking let's just
Let's go. Let's
just get it done. And she gets to the hospital. She sneaks in. She grubs. Another grub.
Oh
yeah. Dog sniffs her out, and she scurries into a hole. And the dog man, is like, it must have been a little critter.
Yeah.
Don't worry
Must
about
have been
it.
a little grub.
Would have been a rat or something.
Yeah.
Because he looks at the hole and goes like, "Oh, it's just a rat going down there. Like that hole's very small."
Yeah, no man could fit through that hole.
Yeah.
Which also,
you'd have to be the tiniest grub alive to scrub through there.
That's right. It's a nice subtle reference to the Lord of the Rings again, which is it's like how no man could defeat the king of the Black Riders, but it ends up being a woman. So I don't know.
And then he was like, "Anyway, I'm going to go back and I've got some more graffiti. I got some ideas.
Yeah.
I got some fucking ideas. One, I'm going to graffiti fucking suck my fucking asshole."
Ooh,
Yeah, the Switch 2 is too expensive.
Oh man! So I went to I sent you a photo of this, Tommy. I went to sort of like a video games bar in Tokyo a few days ago. Very cool. But the guy working there, he was first of all, he was Panamanian, which was sick. From
I don't know. They were real. I thought they were like elves.
He's one of the Panamaniacs. He lives in a water tower.
I knew Panama existed, but I've never thought about someone being from there.
From
Technically being a Panamanian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, he lives here, sort of like permanently. He's getting his PR soon, I think. So he's going to buy a Switch too, and he was like, basically being like, it's too expensive, but he was saying that living in Japan, you can only buy the Japanese one, which makes sense, right? And that is the cheaper one. However, it's region locked and it's only in Japanese. So if you're an expat and you speak, like he speaks Spanish, but he also speaks English, you can buy like some kind of add-on here, and it's an extra like $200 to have it in your native language.
Oh my god!
So that is kind of shit.
That is bizarre
Wow.
because all the other ones from any other country, they're just like you can just change the language in the. I think it was because of the tariffs and the imports and everything. They didn't want people to just be able to get it for that much cheaper from Japan. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that kind of sucks. And he was like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to get one unless they release a Zelda game, in which case I'm buying it immediately. Like, okay, so that's...
I wonder. Yeah, I wonder if Nintendo will release a Zelda game for their new console.
Yeah. It did seem kind of like a completely redundant discussion. Yeah. It's like, so philosophically you don't like it, but you are immediately going to buckle
You will
give up your ethics to buy...
How do they
Tears of the
keep getting
Kingdom
away
2?
with this?
Yeah. Anyway, that's a little teaser for Filthy Casuals, a podcast that we do on Thursdays.
Oh yeah. Anyway, yeah. Where are we? Okay, so she's in the hospital. She's scrubbed.
Yep.
And where does she come across? Nora? Like,
It's kind of straight away, right? There's not a lot of grubbing around the hospital. It's just like Nora's like helping something, cleaning a bandage. And then bang, Ellie comes out of the side door like, freeze, feel this, bitch.
Yeah. Remember me?
And because earlier they were talking about how like they're just talking openly on the radio.
Oh yeah.
And that sort of like helped sort of inform. They're like, why the fuck are they talking so openly on the radio? And they're like, because no one's listening. Because these guys are like a weird cult.
Yeah. Yes.
And so she knows exactly where Nora is. And yeah, she's like, remember me? And then Nora's like, yeah. And she goes, what are you doing? And she's like, tell me where Abby is. And then she's like, oh, no. And then Nora's like, you know, Joel, like, he was a bitch.
Yeah.
He does. He said, she says he's like a little bitch or something.
Maybe
like,
she did the graffiti.
Yeah.
Oh.
Holy
Interesting.
shit. Plot twist.
Wow.
Plot twist.
Wow. It's a.
We got a plot twist.
Suck a polar bear's funky ass.
It's a new record for how long it's taken us to hear from the soundboard. 37 minutes in.
It was a non-binary a woman of color who did the graffiti. But no. She does that. She throws like a tray of, I don't know, cleaning fluid or water on Ellie. Ellie's like, yucky, and Nora runs away.
I think it was bleach.
Oh, okay.
I think it was some kind of bleach.
Okay.
It looked like it was bleach.
That would cause me to do that.
It's
so that's fair enough.
It was yeah. And then there's a chase through the hospital. Some wolves hear them, start shooting away. Nora's screaming. She's going, ah!
Yeah. Shoot her!
And then she gets to a dead end, and then she's like, all right, and she goes into an elevator shaft. Big fucking mistake, Nora.
Yeah, big no-no.
You fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
You fucked up.
You done fucked up. She doesn't know that this is fucked. Right?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if she... Yeah, it's like, I mean, earlier in the show, they say we're not telling anyone.
Yeah.
I don't know if Nora is high profile enough that she might have been told, but either way, we don't know for sure, but either way, she's down there now.
Oh, yeah.
Too late.
And she's fucked.
Yeah.
Ellie goes down. She's going around and seeing all these spores hanging in the air.
Yep.
And then these fucking fucked up looking dudes trapped in the fungus.
Yeah.
Now
breathing the
this
spores.
is the bit that really gave me the willies. These guys just sort of trapped there in sort of like a stasis, just like wheezing away. Ugh. No, thank you.
Yeah, yuck. Imagine if they were still a
Disemboweling,
bit
I think, would be
conscious.
funny, but this would suck. I would not be able to see the humor in this, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah,
I would not be able to see the funny side.
Yeah.
If my friends were standing around laughing at me while I was in this state, fuck, I'd be sore.
Yeah.
I'd be so dark on it.
You'd be dirty.
Not cool.
You'd be fucking
Not
filthy.
cool, guys. Reminded me of Aliens. Aliens, I think, is the one where this happens, right? Where they're stuck on the wall and the Queen's
Yes.
fucking popped a little chest burster into them and they're yeah, real gross stuff. Really yucky.
And then Ellie hears some coughing, and she goes to find Nora, who is clearly already fucked up. And Nora says, "You've killed us both, you idiot." And Ellie goes, "Are you sure about that?" Because Ellie ain't coughing.
Yeah. Guess again.
Yeah.
And that's when Nora realizes who Ellie is.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh my God, you're the one who's immune."
And Ellie's like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I am, bitch.
Yeah. Get used to it. Okay. Yeah. I'm immune. And then Nora's like, I thought you were kind of like a myth. But yeah, fuck, you're the one who, well, you realize what that guy did, right? You know, your daddy who we killed.
Your mate, your best mate. So this is interesting because she's like, she kind of says like, oh, I thought you were a myth. But then she's like, here's what Joel did. He killed this doctor who was like going to use you for a cure. Right. So she's kind of like she knows that Joel definitely did that, but she's also sort of like on the fence about whether, you know what I mean? She doesn't like put together that they're linked.
I thought it was the, I mean, maybe I misinterpreted, but I thought it was like myth as in like that you actually were immune.
Yeah,
oh, sure. Okay.
Like they thought you were immune, but like everyone,
there's no way.
There's no way someone's immune. Like we've never seen it before.
Yeah.
You know, like I thought it was. I didn't take it as like she literally didn't exist, but like her immunity might have been a myth.
And now she's seeing evidence that only she could have ever seen because of the spores stuff. Yeah.
And she's like, Joel did this, and she's like, I don't care.
Well, I think she's like, did you know he slaughtered an entire hospital full of people. He killed Abby's dad, shot him in the head, you know, in cold blood, defenseless surgeon. And Ellie's like, I know. Which we don't know that she knows that until that point, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I kind of had assumed it because of how she's had that like falling out with Joel. Kind of assumed it was kind of over her sort of finally finding that out.
Right.
But I kind of also read, I think you could read this too as like she kind of doesn't know, like she's learning for the first time, but she's just like, this is her poker face.
Right.
Of like, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
I'm killing you either way because you killed Joel. Like you're not gonna rattle me with some information like this that I, didn't know.
It's
like,
a dog eat dog world.
Right.
It's a shit eat shit. It's a man in the car park.
Yeah,
it's a dog.
It's a man eat shit world. Yeah,
it's a man eat shit world. It's a feel this bitch world. Like,
and that's the whole motto. That's what the whole festival is. That's the ethos of the festival. It's like, in this world, you got to eat the shit before the shit eats you. It's tough out there.
Yes, and that could happen.
There's one guy protesting, going, "This shit's not going to eat you."
Like, no, it might.
I don't want to eat shit. I don't want
There's
to.
only one way to guarantee that shit won't eat you, and that's to eat the shit first.
Get in first. Yeah.
And so she's like, I don't care. And when she said, like, I mean, I think it's maybe open for interpretation. I believed her when she said, like, I know. But either way, she's like, you're right. It's like, she's like, I'm not going to be rattled. Like, where's Abby? Abby? Like, fucking tell me. And she's like, I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah.
And then she looks around and sees a pipe. A big fucking pipe. And I swear to God, Ellie's eyes just go black.
Yeah.
Like, she looks fucking vicious.
Yeah.
And and I mean, we talk about this a little bit in the ends of the episodes when we talk about the game. But I've seen this criticism from people who haven't played the game as well, saying that, like, I've seen a lot of criticism of Bella Ramsey that I think is like totally unfounded. Because, and most of it is like she doesn't look badass.
Oh, okay.
Essentially.
Right.
And like, it's like she can't bring that gravitas or whatever. And first of all, it's like, one of the things I like about her casting or their casting is that it's like Bella looks like a real person.
Yeah.
Like, as in, like, not necessarily super badass, but it's the same with, like, if you ever see, like, gangsters in real life, they don't look like Al Pacino and Robert De
Right.
Niro. They just look
Yeah.
like dweebs.
Yeah.
Like, Ellie feels like a real person. Ellie doesn't feel like a made up, like, comic book
Yeah.
superhero. And also, Bella's a fucking sick actor because earlier in the episode, Ellie looks real goofy and funny, you know, and kind of nervous around Dina and stuff. But then when she's killing Nora with a pipe, she looks fucking psycho.
She looks like a shark.
Well, it should be like
she has those fucking
yeah.
dead eyes.
You should be most of the time being like, this is a little kid, because she is a little kid, and it's like, yeah, the whole thing doesn't work if she's just completely transformed into being a badass the entire time. Like, if she's cast differently or whatever, then it's like it loses that thing of like, yeah, this young person having to do this like heinous stuff.
And also, like a badass isn't a badass all the time. Like people, like there'll be, you know, you could be a soldier in a war, but you're still like, when you're at home, you're just mucking around.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, you're not constantly going, God damn it. I gotta, like,
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll be like, oh, I'm gonna go,
I've got
like, watch a porno.
I've got
I don't know why I thought porno.
I mean, I think watching pornos is badass, but you know,
Just one of many, many examples you could have picked.
Yeah, just, I don't know. Go to the car park and eat some shit. I don't know,
okay,
like,
that's more relatable. Yeah. I think that's more relatable for our audience.
normal
Yeah.
people do normal things, and then when they're like in a situation, they do bad things.
Yes, and I think
But, like, she just looks so fucking psycho in this scene, and it's
100%. I think there was a bit of after last week. I think maybe a bit of chatter online from from the online people of like, why isn't she constantly focused on revenge? It's like, well, because she's a person who isn't who is multifaceted and is like hanging out with this chick that she's had a crush on for years, and they're on an adventure, and I don't think you have to, like you say, be constantly going like, now let's not forget that I'm on a quest for revenge, and I won't be satiated until I've had blood. Like, I think that's
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, the fact that she's in Seattle means she's motivated for revenge constantly.
Yeah.
But also, like, you can be motivated for something. Like, literally, there are points in your day where you're like, yeah, but I'm hungry as well. You know, like, you can't literally stay on one energy level for however many months it's been since Joel died.
Yeah.
Like, literally, seasons have changed.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I mean, you're gonna have, you're still a fucking person. People are fucking idiots.
Yeah, people.
I hate listening to opinions online, apart from this one.
Yeah.
Apart from these 3 opinions.
Which are correct.
Apart from this podcast.
And then, in the moment when she has the chance to, when she's confronted by the person who was there when Joel was killed, she switches into pure grief and insanity and rage, and fucking beats this woman to pieces with an iron pole.
Yep.
And doesn't get any information from her.
No. Not that we see.
Not that we see.
Beats this woman who, arguably, her being trapped in Spore Land and turning into whatever happened to those other guys. That's worse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, living out your days like that would be so much worse and more of a punishment than just a, brutal but quite quick death, really.
You'd be dreaming about a pipe.
Yeah.
Oh,
my fucking skull in.
But it's the way that Ellie looks so methodical when she does it. Like, she's just like, she looks like psycho, but also in control as well. That's what's like freaky about it.
Yes. Yeah.
And then that like has a hard cut to her waking up happy, and Joel walking in the door going, "Hey, baby girl," or whatever he
Yep.
says.
Good morning, baby girl.
And she smiles at him, and it's obviously in the past before they've had their big falling out.
Yeah.
Yeah, huh?
Because they obviously had a very good relationship at that point.
Yep.
Yeah, she's so happy.
Yeah, happy to see.
That's really
it.
well observed,
Yeah.
Tommy.
She's really happy. Yeah. Who says I can't read social cues?
Yeah, I picked out the card that says happy, and I lined it up to the screen, and
I did have the closed captions on.
okay.
And so I had the benefit of it saying text on the screen, Bella brackets happily. Hi, Joel.
That's kind of cheating, but
And it's weird that it uses the actor's name as well. It's again,
Yeah.
it takes you out of it.
That was an odd choice, but that's the episode. Yeah, cut to credits. I really enjoyed this, but yes, again, having watched it with my partner, who does not know the story, and I'm curious what your partner thought as well, Greg. Bridget was very much like, and I don't know, like she was really burnt by Severance. She loved season 1, favorite show of all time, and then as season 2 went on, gradually had to come to the realization that this was a mess and it wasn't living up to what she hoped it would be. And I think maybe she's a little gun shy now because she's like, oh, I don't want fucking. Why are Jesse and Tommy there now? Like, there's like Tommy's like supposed to be taking care of Jackson. Jesse's like the next guy who's going to be in charge. Like, what a silly thing for them to do. Just a little concern about like, and I think I said last week like, yeah, she was a bit concerned about like the pregnancy plot line, quote unquote. I feel like it's done, and we kind of sort of have more context for this, but I don't think it's being done in a very trashy like soap opera way. But yeah, I don't know.
No, it gives everything kind of extra stakes, and like we sort of glossed over it, but I really like the moment where when they're going into the building and they're like on the other side of the door, and Dina kind of goes running in, and Ellie's like, I'm the one that's immune.
Right.
Obviously, I should be the one to go in, and like kind of seeing that side of like her being able to sort of, really get into this role of a protector, and obviously that resonating for her because that's who Joel was to her, and so she, I think it's you. Yeah, you're right. It's not like it's just a throwaway like, oh, what are we going to do with this? And then there's going to be, but it is such a trope thing of like you introduce a baby into the show and it's like just as a like not knowing what to do kind of thing. So I can sort of understand that hesitation, but yeah, I think it's been handled well.
Yeah, I don't have any fucking problem with it. It all seems fucking normal to me.
But this episode, it did feel quite brief. It felt like it went by quite quickly, and especially it's 2 eps after this one.
Right.
It's yeah.
Well, I thought about that too. I think it's like partly because it's just so fast paced. Because it's actually not. It wasn't that brief in terms of time, but it was just a very, and also like a singular. From the moment it sort of the sun goes down, it's a pretty much just like the same sequence.
Yeah.
Escalate, and so it always feels like it's going quickly. But I thought it was real good. Like I thought it was the fact that it felt brief. Also, I think is testament to like it was fucking cool, and you like it was just like I loved it. I thought it was like and I think they're doing a way better job this season in general of like. I thought the first season had like a lot of good drama and like slower moments, but also was like a little bit lacking in just like cool action.
Yeah.
And I think this season has like a lot. It's real good. I love that. Like the stalker scene, it was creepy. Going through the forest was awesome.
Yep.
Like, the chase sequence was like it was. Yeah, the whole thing I thought was like real.
Yeah.
Cool. And
Yeah.
I was really.
I'm having a great time watching it, and I think the other thing is we kind of know we know where it's going, so we aren't worried. There's no there's maybe concern about some of the execution that may or may not play out the way that we'd like or whatever, but we know the story's going in a really, really interesting direction, so we're not like, oh, but what's going to happen with this character? Why did that ended on such an abrupt? It's like, no, but we know it's all, we know it's going to get revealed. So yeah.
And I think the difference between, like, I mean, yeah, my partner has no issues. Like, she's like, yeah, it's like a cool show, and she's into it. So, and she's not. I always like grill her afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, what? So did you like it?
Yeah.
But without, like, why did you like it? Are you interested in still watching it? And she's like, yeah, it's fucking cool. I want to see what happens next. Like, at no point has she really criticized the show itself.
Yeah, right.
Like, even and so, like, I think she's just keen on the show. But I lost my fucking train of thought. What was I talking about? The show Last of Us.
Yeah, the show Last of Us.
You're talking about how
like a fungus
your partner
that
watches the
infects
show.
people.
She's watching the TV. You're in a chair in the corner of the room watching her watch the show.
In the cuck chair.
Yeah.
Watching the show Last of Us. I don't know. Fucking, it's a good show.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Yeah, I enjoyed the episode. I especially I loved this. I loved this last moment. The Nora scene, and then that little flashback for just 2 seconds. I thought was really well done.
Real cool.
Real cool.
I thought what a great show. What a fantastic time. I had a great time watching it. And I can't wait to see what happens next in the series.
Yeah.
Bravo, home box office. You've done it again.
10 out of 10 from all of us. And that's the end of this recap of the episode. We're about to go into we're going to go into the quarantine zone. We're going into the quarantine zone.
Spoilers coming up for the video game and the rest of the show.
It's time for quarantine.
Daddy. Oh, what? Daddy. Oh.
We're in the quarantine.
We
zone.
are.
Spoilers.
We're in the Q zone, folks. We're in the Q zone.
That's it. That is it.
Okay.
Yeah. Here's one thing I want to talk about that's not actually specific to this episode, but a news article I just read about The Last of Us that we can only really talk about once we have played the game.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
And it pisses me off, this news article. I'm really annoyed, and I'll tell you why I'm annoyed.
All right.
Because I know a little bit about how the industry works.
Yep.
We are not going to see season 3 until at least 2027.
Right.
It hasn't begun pre-production, and it won't until next year.
Whoa.
It will begin pre-production next year.
Fuck.
Which is shit.
Yeah.
And fucked. And there's no... And I know why. Like, I know... Without knowing why, I know why it takes so long. And people, like, people are like, oh, but people's schedules and all the rest of it. It's like, yeah, I mean, that's always a concern. But that's when you do a TV show, there's contracts and there's option agreements. And they... Like, it's very easy to just make sure people are available.
Right. Once
for
the
an
show's a
ongoing
hit.
Yeah,
too.
yes.
Yeah, like a show that's a hit. Like, I mean, it's not like we haven't had TV for 100 years where people have been making shows year on year. Mm-hmm. That's a very easy thing to sort out. The reason that it takes so long is because, like, of multiple reasons that could be playing into each other. One is there's definitely a fuckhead at HBO. I guarantee you.
Yeah. Go on.
There's a fuckhead at HBO that has enough power that he can wait, and hold off on signing off on series until he's had input. And his input would be things like, what if we did a Game of Thrones crossover?
Right.
There's a fuckhead. I guarantee you there's a fuckhead somewhere that's coming up with fucked ideas, and they're having to constantly tiptoe around and try and placate.
Right.
And he won't sign off on shit, and he's dragging his feet. because he's coming up with fucking stupid things like, we're not going to commit to another series unless you commit to a spin-off series with the Skeletons.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
What if we bring back Curb and like Larry David turns up in the middle of The Last of Us?
Yeah.
He could be a Seraphite, and he could be like hanging people because they held eye contact with him for too long.
Well, I mean, Greg's talking about bad ideas, Tommy, so that's not a good example.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. As I was saying it, I'm like, I'm on this guy's side, honestly. That would be cool.
Like, there's some fuckhead that has shit ideas for sure. That is and holding it, and there's either the same fuckhead or some other fuckhead who, no matter how successful this is like, is Pedro Pascal a big enough name?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Is this? It's successful, but is it successful enough to sign
Right.
off on another season?
Right.
Is it? Oh, it's just. Do we need a name? Do we need Brad Pitt?
Right.
Right.
You know, do we need Brad Pitt in this? You know, there's someone doing that. And then there's also just other stuff of like, hey, if we hold off production until next year, we get a tax break.
Right.
Like,
it is disappointing when a lot of things I'm like happy for them to take as long as it takes. And I think there are some shows that have benefited from not having to be on the treadmill of like, you have to crank out a season every year. And, you know, you see plenty of examples where they just didn't have the ideas yet or whatever. But I do think there's also too, a bit of a middle ground when it's like these 2-year waits between seasons, and you just see people get a bit disengaged. It kind of, not that I haven't watched any of it, but it does kind of feel like that's happened a little bit with people with House of the Dragon. It's like you have these like long waits in between, and it's like, it's just hard to keep invested to the same level. And especially, I mean, they are in this kind of weird, unique position where it's not just leaving the viewers on a cliffhanger and then this being this long wait to see what happens next. It's also like, we know that this is like only one half of a story that they essentially will have told. And it's like the material is, I mean, obviously they've got to write the show, but the layout of the story, like it's there ready to go. Like you would have hoped that maybe they'd filmed some of this in tandem and, you know, they'd be ready to go with the next bit in a year's time, or that like knowing where it is and knowing that it's really popular now, that they'd be like, right, so we do two starts airing and then we're in pre-production on 3, like while 2 is on the air, so that we can like hit the ground running.
There's absolutely, like, anyone who says that's not achievable is wrong. It's absolutely achievable. And also, like, yes, it like you like, obviously they want to adapt it, but you're in a situation where they literally could have just transcribed the game as the scripts and it would have been fine. And obviously you don't want to just do that, but like they had, like, you are absolutely right. Like it should have been, especially with the weight, it should have been all written.
Well, it's a known quantity too at this point, right? It's not like, oh, we'll put this season out and then like fingers crossed we get renewed. Like they know at this point, like the show is it's such a huge hit from season 1, and they are doing this stuff in season 2 that's going to, like, you know, they know that they're going to have an episode up their sleeve that is going to be huge social media talking point. Even people that are mad about it, it's like, that doesn't matter. Like that's all chatter. It's all like goes into like boosting the profile of the show. I wonder if things like, you know, obviously like everything's subscription based now. So I'm sure another part of it, to speak to your point, Greg, about there being some fuckhead up there, is like you need the schedule of the of HBO Max to be like, you've always got to have something month to month that's going to inspire people to like keep their subscription costs going. You know, it's not just like back in the day you're wanting people to keep viewing. You know, you're like, oh, we might have a gap in the schedule in 2027.
Right.
So if we don't keep the goods coming, like people are going to unsubscribe, and we don't have our new hit show up our sleeves yet.
Oh yeah, it's all algorithm based. And they are not like, I don't know about HBO specifically, but if this was, I'm glad it's not on Netflix, because if it was Netflix, they would cancel it in a heartbeat. Mid season. If the algorithm spat out the numbers that said no. Like they don't give a shit. Like that show Chaos, they just cancelled, like, you know. Leaving it on a cliffhanger and all the rest of it. Like they'll happily, like, and I wouldn't put it past any organization to just cancel it halfway through.
Yeah.
And just go, we're just not going to have the rest of it.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way that it couldn't be done, and it should have been done, especially because, and this is the other thing, we know what's going to happen.
Yep.
Season 1, you can accept a break between season 1 and 2 because season 1 was like a conclusion. I mean, the first game, we never knew at the time whether there would even be a second game. That was the end.
Yeah.
It wasn't a cliffhanger. It was
a lot of it, like, I think we were talking on the pod, we were skeptical because it was like, oh, 1 wraps up so beautifully. Like, do we need to see any more? Like, it felt like a bit of a...
Why undercut it?
Yeah. It was such a good ending. And so, and you can absolutely have a break and it's fine. With season 2, what we know is it will be the next day that... You know, we're going to be going back into a show where, like, we've had 2 years off and it's the next day. And there's so many shows, like, with fucking... I mean, even Severance.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, I can't remember what the fuck happened in Severance.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't remember. And so it was ages before I watched it again, and then I hated it. But it's the same with, like, Game of Thrones, with House of the Dragon. Like, with House of the Dragon especially, I actually quite liked it, but I'm going to have to rewatch the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't know. And they show that fucking... They'll have a recap, and the recap does nothing.
Yeah.
It just shows a bunch of cool scenes,
It's
like,
not helpful at all.
Yeah.
The recap needs to be like maybe like 10 minutes. They make it go for like a minute and a half, and they
it
just
needs to be 10 minutes with a narrator going, this is what happened.
Yeah.
The recap is just like a little teaser trailer. I'm like, okay, cool. There was a dragon. I know there was a dragon flying around.
Yeah. And
I want to know who the fuck this cunt is and who the fuck this
and why they
like,
don't like each other. But because the other thing is that it's going to go back in time. This second season, it's going to go back and it's going to go over the same events from a different perspective, which means like we're gonna if they're not filming it until end of next year,
end of 26,
then
probably
it'll be 2027 or maybe even 2028. It's like
because also like I mean we've talked a lot about the really unique structure of Last of Us 2, the game, for a game, and also like the way it put, you you having to control this person that, had been the villain that you'd been hunting for the entire thing. And obviously they've already had, it's a challenge to adapt that because there's so much stuff about that, the effect of that came from like actually being a player. But a big part of the effect was that it was immediate, right? Like you went from you went bang, and now you were straight in it, and it was disarming, and it was like, and I feel like with a 2-year wait, and then also there being like trailers for the season 3 that are showing you like, hey, next season it's all Abby's perspective. Like that's all going to be that's all completely lost by not the like to have a like a slightly longer season where they'd sort of trimmed some stuff here and there. And then if we'd gone halfway through the season and just gone like hard cut into now we're just seeing Abby's perspective, like just tuning in one week, like if it had gone from say, I don't know, whatever episode to just all of a sudden seeing that, I think that effect would have done a really good job of like, capturing that same feeling. And they're just, I don't know. I think they're really making it harder for themselves by staggering it out like that.
It's, I mean, and that's the thing is like, whatever anyone says about what's achievable, or is it like they're wrong. Like you can just make, you could have made this one season that's 14 episodes.
Right.
You could have made it.
If the right people want it to happen, then anything can happen.
Anything can happen. I mean, like I was talking about Rome the other week. I mean, that was like probably a smaller budget, but then at the time maybe not. Like season 1 of that was 12 episodes, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's only kind of recently that seasons have started to become 10 episodes or even less.
Yeah, 7's a weird number too. It's not like it's a default, like 10 feels pretty standard. Even 8 sometimes feels kind of 7, but 7's like a kind of, it's sort of like a random number for a season.
And that's the thing is it's obviously 7 because they were like, if we split the game into 2 seasons, it's not enough for 20 episodes or whatever, but it is enough. Like, but they should have just done it like Lord of the Rings or something. Like they should have done. I would be certain that they mapped out whether or not they've absolutely finished the scripts for every episode, they certainly would have mapped out in detail every single episode.
Yeah, because yes,
Yeah,
they would
I
have
mean,
had
that's
to
the
know.
other
They
thing.
definitely would have done
Yeah,
that.
they would have
first.
had to have done that first, so they would have known what would have been in the first half, like because there are decisions that have been made to move stuff around, which just by definition means that they have to know where all the rest of it is. So no, completely.
Well, also, like, I think it is really similar to Lord of the Rings, and it's also really similar to, like, actually making a video game where, because we're seeing a lot of the same stuff, or not a lot of the same stuff, but, it being Abby's perspective, and a lot of this is happening in sort of the same locations, I feel like a lot of the grunt work of setting this show up is that location dressing, right? Is getting into these areas and, like, building these, like, putting all the broken down cars and all that kind of shit obviously takes so much time. So it's weird to me just from a logistical perspective that they're not, once they're already set up and they're doing all of that location work, you would think that it would make the most sense once they're there to go like, bang, let's knock out, let's film them consecutively, because it's like...
Yeah, it does. And that's the thing is, like, again, knowing how TV shows are produced, I guarantee it's dumb. Like, whatever the reason is, it's dumb reasons. I guarantee it. It's it could even be as dumb as, like, some EP at some level is like going, oh, I want to be involved, but I'm busy.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah.
like, it is not impossible that it's that dumb. Like, it'll be someone that refuses to sign off on a new season until there's a guarantee of this happening. It'll be someone that's, and also, again, very likely is just a money thing where it's like, if we do it in this quarter, we make more money. I think your point about the algorithm is very true as well. They might have gone, okay, so we've got, like, House of the Dragons coming out next year or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, they have something coming out next year, so they're like, hold off on Last of Us.
Next year.
Yeah.
So we can have this one.
We'll do White Lotus season 4 into House of the Dragon season 3, and then the next year we'll do White Lotus season 5 into Last of Us
Industry's
season 3.
a hit now. You plot, and then you're like, maybe the back end of this year, you're hoping that you have one or two new shows that premiere that kind of catch on, where then you're like, okay, well, now we can fill some gaps with that. I mean, it's like, it isn't. Yeah, it's not just now about it being on and hoping that, obviously the shows still have to be popular, but the actual financial stake of, people paying month to month is dictated by, there being something the minute you have and they would already see that, right? They would already see heaps of, like, okay, Last of Us is over. There's nothing else coming up that I'm interested in. I'm gonna drop my subscription, and then I'll get it again when, I don't know, next year when White Lotus comes back or whatever.
Yeah. And the problem that they have is that all these executives, they always think in, like, absolute terms, where, like, they go, oh, people don't mind if you wait a season with White Lotus or a year or two with White Lotus, so therefore people won't mind if you wait for Last of Us.
Right.
Not having a brain to realize, oh yeah, but White Lotus is self-contained story.
Wrapped up.
And this is like, it's literally
they
not
have a
finished.
single character connecting them.
Yeah.
This is literally not finished. And, like, I'm sure I personally wouldn't have, like, I was not necessarily in a rush to see season 2, other than that I just knew it was going to be fucking good. But, like, I would rather wait. I'd rather it didn't come out this year at all.
Right.
For, like, both of them to come out next year or something, like.
I just also like, I'm really wondering, like, what we know about what's coming and where they could possibly end the season. I mean, I'm wondering if, like, that moment in the theater where Abby shows up as an ending, is that going to be satisfying to viewers? Like, the people that don't have any attachment to the games, and again, like we do, have give the benefit of the doubt of know, like, what else is to come. Like, if you just end on that moment and that's the cliffhanger that then you wait 2 years for, I don't know if that's, I don't know. I wonder if that's, I think that's going to really annoy people.
If I was watching this cold, I don't see any way they can end it without it being, like, it's a cliffhanger of some description.
Yeah.
And I've always said this about any show, like, I know the plot of Last of Us, so I'm probably the one who cares the least because I know what happens. But I've said this about any show. If you end a season on a cliffhanger, you're a dog cunt. Like, you should never end a season. Like, don't try and hustle me to watch the next season.
Yeah.
Like, it's not gonna. It just makes me mad. Like, I mean, and obviously, if a show is a continuing thing, then everything is some kind of cliffhanger. But at least make it so that they get to a ledge rather than hanging off the edge of the cliff.
Totally.
It's like I got so mad with like Breaking Bad in that season where like he shoots Gail Bedecker in the face, but you don't know and you got to wait.
Right.
And I think that was like had a break as well, and then I was like, okay, cool, I got to wait 2 years, and then the second, and then it's like, yeah, he got shot in the face.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Like,
No,
fuck you.
yes, there should be some kind of narrative resolution that feels satisfying, right? Like, it's a season of TV is still a piece of work. Like, it can't literally be, like we've been saying, unfinished. It shouldn't end in the middle of Act 2. It should, at the end of Act 3, and then the next season is a whole new little structure of a story. And it's going to be hard not to make it feel like it's ending in the middle of, its flow, basically. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess having. I mean, I don't. Is there enough time for it to be like? Oh yeah, I guess there is enough time for it to be that Ellie does all of her shenanigans, gets back to the theater, and they're like, "All right, let's go home," and then Abby, kicks the door down and shoots Jesse.
I think there is enough time.
Yeah.
That'd be.
There is, but like it's not like there's not a lot. There's not that much more that needs to happen. I mean, there was a lot of like big long bits that were essentially just gameplay.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of long bits where she was like. There were some really long bits where it was like literally just trying to get to a place, and it was like multiple, massive sections of just fighting through Seraphites. I doubt she'll encounter the Seraphites again or in any major way. Like, I reckon what I reckon is going to happen is next week's going to be mostly flashback.
Sure.
Yep.
And then I reckon the week after that is going to be her going to like the aquatic center or wherever it was, and that whole thing with Owen and everything. And then I reckon it'll end on full cliffhanger.
Right.
Yeah.
Like a fucking loser show. And that's the thing. If I didn't know what was coming or whatever, I reckon like, because it gets to the point where you're like, after 2 years, you're like, so what happened again?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh yeah, and I'll get around to watching that. And you hold off because you're like, oh, I've got to read a recap. So
yeah, and the expectation of just like, and obviously it's an easy argument to say like, oh, you just rewatch it again, but it's like, yeah, your time is finite. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, we all have lives. I watched the show once already, and there's new stuff to watch, and there's life to live.
Right.
Like, just to be like, no, they took 3 years to make the show, so I have to then spend 10 hours of my life like watching something I've already watched because it's sort of gone from the memory bank. Like, yeah,
and that's the thing. If anyone is listening who's a TV executive, stop being such a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Sort your fucking life out.
And it's not like the reason, like, it's not just me going, oh, I want it soon.
Right.
Give it to me. It's the fact that you are like, we know that this is a continuing thing.
Yes.
Yep.
Like, we know, and it's, I mean, going back to Lord of the Rings, and I remember watching like some video essay on like why this will never happen again.
Right.
And it's like, because the studio actually trusted a filmmaker to make something good.
Right.
Yeah.
And just go all in. They were like, if we're going to make 3 movies, let's make fucking 3 movies.
Yep.
Like, let's not fuck around and make one and then wait and see how it goes and then make another one. Like, it's a 3-part series. Let's make them all. Let's shoot them all together. And so it came out 1 year after the other.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the right thing to do. And it's why it was good. And it's like, if they had done the Star Wars model, it would have been fucking shit. It would have been like, ugh, now it's got like a new director and they've made changes because there's been feedback.
Right.
Yeah.
And, it's like, any kind of delay is purely so the fucking cavalcade of people who have their hands on the script have their little say.
Yeah.
Like there is
Their
just
little
this
fucking
constant
say.
parade of people going, but what about this? What about this? What about this? Or
Yep.
the algorithm says this and blah 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 blah.
Well, and I don't
that's
think it's
why things
any.
take long.
I don't think it's any coincidence that you see all of those people May 13 every year in the Tullamarine Airport car park.
Yeah.
There's a direct link there.
Yeah.
starting to-
That's what
I'm starting to feel like
I mean that is I mean
you don't think that the Tullamarine Airport parking lot shit eating festival is a good thing.
I'm not casting any judgment about the festival itself.
Okay.
I just do think that there is a direct. You'll see like that bit where the private jets have to come in, and they've all come direct from Hollywood, and they're straight into
is
that
true.
car park to eat shit.
That is true.
Yeah.
I would say if I would completely retract every single thing I've just said if I found out that it was purely postponed just because they were like, we don't have time to film it because we also have to go to the Tullamarine shit eating.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'd be like, well, they are the best of us. They're not the last of us. They're the best of us.
Yeah.
And they deserve.
Yeah.
And like some things you gotta have to wait for because
some things transcend.
like
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
priorities in life. You know, it's like family comes first.
Yep.
Going to the Tullamarine to eat shit in a car park. It's got to come first. And I couldn't begrudge
Right.
anyone for putting that
Okay.
first.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, we'll
You
see
know,
if
it's
there's
like-
any follow-up reporting on that sort of production schedule, and if that's the reason, happy to record a special episode where we all apologize.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is the other thing too, and I want this on record.
Okay.
So everyone, like, as they're dying, can go, "Oh, Greg was right."
Sure.
The thing that I'm worried about is like, what have we got like a year left until World War III? Like,
Good point.
get the
Yeah.
fucking last season out before we're dead from nuclear
Actually,
war.
Yeah.
You know what? That is a really good point. The whole thing creatively of like, hey, it takes as long as it takes, and we need the writers' room needs some time to get cooking. But as we've seen, okay, yeah, in an ideal world, yeah, take a year and a half. Take if it takes a little longer than a standard historical episode of television or season of television would come out. But now there's fucking writers' strikes and there's fucking pandemics that lock everything down. You would think that we would have learned it's like, oh, you know what? So many other things can get in the way. Like, yes, you want to take time to get cooking, but at the same time, it's our fucking job. Let's get down to fucking business, boys. Let's make some goddamn TV before an earthquake happens.
When the nuclear strikes occur, everyone's going to be thinking, fucking, if we just had that last season of The Last of Us.
What the fuck happened to Abby?
Yeah.
That's
Like,
going to
what
be
the
your
fuck
last
happened?
thought as
Yeah,
you see a nuke in the sky.
Yeah, you'll be like, fuck. God, just wait. Although
sort of-
maybe, actually, no, this could be a good strategy. What if they found out that Putin loves Last of
Oh
Us?
yes.
And they're like, if we just keep delaying this shit, we might be able to avert nuclear war.
Yeah.
Isn't that sort of the plot of like that Seth Rogen movie with North Korea, where it's like, what
I've
is
never
he?
seen
What he likes that. He
I
loves
know
that
the movie
movie
you're
or
talking
something.
about.
Yeah.
That was the thing with Kim Jong Il, right? Or is it Kim Jong Un who like loves like basketball and GTA and stuff like that?
Yeah. Pedro Pascal is Putin's Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
Putin, but no, that's actually explains why, because Putin, it explains why there's bits in the show that like a lot of people hate. It's because Putin loves the Skellingtons.
Oh yeah.
That is the height of Russian culture.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like Skellingtons. It's like how the French people love Jerry Lewis. It's like,
Yeah.
and Germans love David Hasselhoff.
Yes.
Russians love the Skellingtons.
Yes.
Russians are obsessed with the
Right.
Skellingtons.
Right.
And so it's like the rest of the world has to suffer through these 10-hour Skellington concerts.
Just because
But
Putin demanded
It's like
it.
Putin demanded it, you know? And it's...
Well, I mean, if we keep telling Putin, like, look, the Skellingtons are in contract discussions. They want a bit more than we can afford. The negotiations are going to be ongoing, so don't hit that big red button that says nuke.
I want to see the lore of the Videodrone Last of Us production. Like it's like the skeletons. Like there's a story.
Yeah, there is.
There's
I
another
don't.
story
Yeah.
that they're making the Last of Us with the skeletons to appease Vladimir Putin to avoid nuclear war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The executives are going to a shit-eating festival at the Tullamarine airport.
I think making up an episode of The Last of Us where then it makes it sound like nothing in this podcast is a joke, that it's just like literally. I think that's I know we're all off it, but that's a very noble use of AI. If you could
Sure.
if you could get it to make a 7-hour episode of The Last of Us that just takes everything we've said as fact.
I mean, I believe in us, Tommy. I believe we can sit down as a trio.
we can make it.
Hash this out.
I think
I'm going to learn Blender and render it all up this afternoon.
I want to see, like maybe get a Kickstarter going. Like I think this, like it's like the Sky Oblivion project. Like this project, this fan remake of The Last of Us involving the skeletons.
Yeah, we can do it.
What do we pitch the other
We can do
week,
it.
Tommy? A podcast where all we do is go through every Pokemon and decide if they have great man energy or not.
Oh yeah. Would you call this Pokemon the Great Man or not?
Yeah.
The
Poke Great Man.
I reckon I would pay $500 to not listen to that.
Yeah, that was part of our problem.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's good. If we can
having to do it.
Yeah, if we can somehow make it like it's the U2 album, so it's like people have to opt out, but for a fee.
An opt-out podcast. You get legislation passed that this is an opt-out podcast.
It plays automatically on your phone without your say-so unless you pay $500.
Oh, that is a good model.
That's a fucking great idea.
And either way, you feel bad.
Yeah.
Like, because you either make no money or the world tells you they hate you and you're rich.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, imagine that. We've sat down and tried to make it unlistenable so that we get lots of money, but then people just fucking love it. It's the producers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay.
The podcasters.
The podcasters.
Yeah. Not a single human being alive doesn't love it.
Yeah. We thought we'd be fucking billionaires.
We're just beloved.
We make the most popular podcast in the world and we make absolutely zero money from it.
Oh.
All right, guys, we better wrap it up there.
I got a
thank you for joining us, Greg. Yeah,
thanks, Greggy.
Yeah. Thank you guys for listening, and we're going to see you next week. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
So, yeah.